Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and this week in particular, when it comes to War Within, is probably one of the best weeks to catch up any of your alt characters. Whether you're still struggling to level a few characters right now, is probably one of the biggest bonuses when it comes to overlapping EXP buffs that can make that catch-up journey even faster. And once you hit max level, then you gotta catch up with gear, and this week also offers new ways to catch up by allowing you to obtain some of the easiest hero track items on a fresh new character, which will no doubt help you get kick-started when it comes to your character's gearing journey. But all of these bonuses are going to be available only for a limited time, specifically this week. So if you're looking to find new ways to maximize your alt catch-up, then this video is going to go over how you can take advantage of the amazing opportunity that presents us this week specifically. As always, if you want to see more War Within guides like these on the channel, be sure to follow and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in. So first things first, there are right now two major bonuses that you should probably try to take advantage of as early as possible, just to make sure you're maximizing your time within WoW in the patch 11.05. One of those biggest bonuses that's available is a pretty nice overlap when it comes to certain few leveling buffs. Because together with WoW's anniversary buff, but also the Blessing or Bronze Dragonflight, you're looking at a 20% more experience gain. And if you have a bunch of max level characters, the Warband bonus can provide you up to 25% additional bonuses. However, we also have a really nice overlap between two holidays, one of it being Hallow's End that provides you 10% additional extra XP for 2 hours, but also the Darkmoon Fair, which also provides you another 10% XP on top of that. This gives you a great window, or at least a handful of days, to take advantage of these overlapping bonuses to maximize a bunch of your alt characters, which you could either do through spamming time walking dungeons, and that's simply the easiest way to level brand new characters. Not only will you be able to boost the character's level very rapidly, but also you'll be able to earn a couple more bronze tokens along the way, which can then be used to buy all of the different cosmetics that you've yet to collect during the 20th anniversary update. Alternatively, if you're someone who doesn't like to level in groups and would rather do some solo leveling, you can quest out in the open world with War Mode active, which will provide you with additional 10 to 50% bonus experience while completing activities out in the open world, depending on your faction and depending on the time of day. And if you are looking for a solo leveling experience, I will have that guide linked down below so you can follow it all the way through in order to make that leveling journey for you even easier than ever before. As the guide goes over the best routes for you to take that helps avoid encounters with the opposing faction, which is possible with War Mode, there is a good chance that you may encounter conflicts, and maybe that's what you're looking for, though not everybody does. Some players just want to be able to use these bonuses to maximize the leveling, to have as easy of an experience getting a character to max level, with the sole goal of being able to collect as many max level alts as possible. So like I said, you'll be able to find the guide to the solo leveling video in the description of the video, but whether you're leveled through a solo, through questing, or through time walking dungeons, it doesn't really seem to make too much of a difference in terms of the leveling speeds, as they're both relatively similar to one another. Now, another way that you can also help catch up on all of your characters is when it comes to gearing, especially this week in particular, as we got yet another time walking event. This time, not a classic time walking event, but rather TBC time walking, which I think is actually better than classic time walking to some degree. During this time, you'll have access to a handful of dungeons, mostly from the TBC era, which provides you with a quest that allows you to unlock any of the items from the Nurubar Palace raid, which gives you a chance to collect some of the more rarer items from any of the bosses, but also some of the more powerful trinkets that are available on champion track difficulty. However, you can also pick up a bonus quest to defeat Illidan at the end of the Black Temple raid, which allows you to obtain hero track gear from that raid instance, which can become any of the items that are available on the actual loot table, from a variety of different weapons, but also plenty of other trinkets as well as bonus items, which gives all of your characters yet another chance of collecting hero track gear that could potentially be further upgraded, allowing your character to boost and gain quite a bit of item level very easily. Some of the better items are going to include trinkets such as Madness of the Betrayer, which allows your character to gain additional agility or strength, but also to gain additional critical strike chance, and for some classes crit is one of your best stats in the game. Or potentially tap into the Skull of Gul'dan for an additional haste buff that can be utilized inside of your major cooldown windows as a caster class instead. On top of it, you also get access to the Black Temple raid itself, where every single boss that you slay from this instance has a chance of dropping you additional champion track gear depending on that boss's loot table. So it gives you an opportunity to pick up a variety of different items, and if you're really lucky in a run, there's a pretty decent chance that maybe half or maybe more than half of these bosses could potentially drop you some sort of items for an upgrade. So if you have a brand new character, not a lot of item levels on them, those champion track pieces would give you a pretty sizable boost to your overall item level. But the best part is, this time walking event is also available at the same time, side by side with the Caverns of Time 20th anniversary update, with a fairly easy array of weekly activities. And you have multiple of these weekly quests that you can pick up from the Caverns of Time, though if you are going to be focusing on any, I think the World Boss one is definitely worth your time. Not only can you pick up a weekly quest that allows you to obtain champion track gear from the BRD raid dungeon instance, but also it gives you a reason to go out and slay some of the world bosses, with every single world boss having a chance of dropping you additional veteran track gear. For a brand new fresh starter character, this could be some of the easiest gear available, as all you have to do is fly to the boss, group up, and potentially unlock loot that has a daily lockout, so you can keep killing these bosses daily for a chance at additional items. Early on as they released the BRD raid dungeon during the 20th anniversary, I think a lot of players got turned off by the raid because of just how difficult it was, and they spent quite a significant bit of time nerfing it in order to try to make it a little bit easier for some of the starter players. But BRD also holds some of the best items that potentially could be some of your biggest upgrades that are comparable to what is available in War Within Season 1. You see, as you kill bosses within the raid on LFR, normal, or heroic difficulty, you get to earn these coffer relic keys that can then be traded in to buy guaranteed direct gear from that raid instance itself, which allows you to focus farm specific items that could potentially be a fairly decent upgrade for your character. Now, these items, however, will differ depending on the class choice. However, for strength classes, Flame Breath is one of your best weapons available, whether you play Fury Warrior, Arms Warrior, Frost Death Knight, Unholy, or even Retribution Paladin, as the weapon grants your melee attacks a chance to deal additional fire damage to all enemies split evenly within 8 yards, enveloping you in a flame shield for 15 seconds that will deal additional fire damage to all enemies that hit you. And while this weapon does lack some secondary stats like critical strike, versatility, haste, or mastery, that additional fire damage more than makes up for it for many starting classes. But also for Fury Warriors, if you can get this weapon on hero track, it actually can become your best offhand slot weapon that you can actually use to push some endgame content. If you're playing a caster, the Burst of Knowledge may be one of the better trinkets available, especially if you're having a hard time trying to fish out from the Nuremberg Palace the most sought after trinket of Spy Master's Web, which is definitely one of the strongest and one of the most popular caster trinkets for many different playstyles. However, Burst of Knowledge is very similar to it, as it also provides you mastery, but every 2 minutes it also allows your spells to increase your intellect, stacking up to 20 times. So it has a little bit of this reverse or ramp up method compared to the Spy Masters, but a very similar familiar effect, and actually can replace that trinket if you're just very unlucky with some of your drops. And the reason why BRD might actually be worth your time is, one, these items are very powerful and should not be overlooked, as they could actually be some of your best gear available, and it's something you could focus farm. Even if you don't make that much progress through the actual raid, collecting as many relic coffer keys available, especially through some of the first few bosses, which are easier compared to the rest of the instance, plus any of the mini boss encounters, allows you to collect a few keys 1 week and then maybe finish out that collection the next week. And then this allows you to be able to focus farm and purchase specific items that could potentially be of a huge boon for any one of your characters. But at the very least, that's been some of the different strategies that I've been employing myself when it comes to trying to gear out my ults as quickly and efficiently as possible. As always, I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching this video, and hope if you guys enjoyed this little guide. If you did enjoy it or found it informative, go ahead and give this video a like. I would very much appreciate it. Definitely take advantage of the big bonuses that are available this week specifically, especially when it comes to some of the time walking raiding content. Join our Discord channel, link down below if you want to keep up with all the regular War Within updates. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.